be big spenders on the offensive side of the ball. They really made a splash defensively. Maybe that makes sense. Mike Vrabel taking over. What's the big move there?
Well, Hannah, when Mike Vrabel came in, he knew how much work there was to be done, and they started on the defensive side of the football. You see the notable defensive additions headline by Milton Williams and Carlton Davis. Harold Landry the third comes in. Robert Spillane, the linebacker from the Raiders. And so the Patriots attacked the defensive side of the football in free agency, which should allow them to focus in on the offensive side of the football in the draft.
Field, what's the big question?
Yeah, who's protecting Drake Maye is still the big question for the Patriots. There is an answer available at number 4 overall, most likely. That, of course, will be LSU's Will Campbell, who, despite the fact that he measured in with 32 5/8" arms at the combine, I believe is clearly the best tackle in this year's draft class, and a guy that I believe has the potential to become a Pro Bowl caliber player at the NFL level. Clean tape for him, not just this season, but the 2 years prior to that. The Patriots don't really have a ready-made option in-house. Vidarian Lowe, their starter from last season, showed that when he's on the field, the Patriots simply need to be better. This team has to find a way to protect their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I think when you bring in Vrabel, it makes sense that, you know, as someone who's trying to instill some stability with the New England Patriots, which they have not had now for years, you know, bringing in experienced veteran defensive players that we know that Vrabel will be able to, right? He doesn't have to work to develop them, et cetera, et cetera. Like, he can bring them in and have them make an impact immediately. And when he says go left, they understand left, right? You don't have to explain to them what needs to happen. He can get the foundation of this team, at least defensively, sound, ready, understood, like in a snap of the fingers, right? Like that's why you bring in a Mike Vrabel. Now, of course, the question is offense. What are you going to do offensively? And that's why you bring in you know, your new offensive coordinator, and you bring that in. You say, okay, let's build this in the draft now. We have a rookie quarterback. Let's kind of start this up from the beginning. Let's really kind of start this from the ground up, and let's actually begin to build something, because you're not when you have such a young quarterback, to try to build the team to kind of a grounding presence with like a 22-year-old quarterback, right? Like, that's a tougher one, especially one who's now going to have a new offensive coach in his ear. And so there's going to be a lot of more new stuff, more development, plenty of other mistakes. And so trying to create that as your grounding force, that's tricky. That's tricky. And then it allows for your season to be kind of all over the place, which then causes more turmoil, which then causes free agents in the future to be like, I don't know if I really want to go here, right? Like, it's harder to see the vision. So I actually think what the Patriots are doing is really smart in terms of what they did. They're like, let's just take care of the defensive free agency. Like, we can really just pick and choose. We don't got to play any other games. We don't try to have to figure out where do we want to go in the draft? How do we do this? Nope. We see this pool of people are available. Let's go out and get them. Let's bring this in. I trust the offensive side of the ball, the coaching staff that I have hired there. They're not only going to develop and work with Drake Maye as he's going to be able to grow and evolve as a quarterback, then we're obviously also going to work in the free agency. Not to mention they still did go out and get someone like a Diggs, so it's not like they did nothing offensively. So I think what the Patriots are doing is really great, and I think they did so in a way that was not this like big grandiose splash. Lots of moves in free agency. We often see a lot of these like big splash moves, and sometimes it's just embedded into it, right? Like, it's not like what the Ravens did to get Derrick Henry, or even the Eagles Saquon Barkley. It's just like those names and those people were so big, and it was at a time when no one's really paying running back. So, on the surface it's a splash move, but like it's really not, at the end of the day, especially when they paid like what? Derrick Henry, like, what was it, like 9 million, 10 million, whatever it was, and Saquon Barkley like 12, 13 million. Like, it's like hardly splash moves, but because of the weight of those types of players, it feels so much more grandiose than the move itself was. So I think a lot of the moves that the Patriots made are kind of going a little bit under the radar, or kind of like they're both simultaneously going under the radar, but then also magnified in a way that I feel like is not misleading, but in a way kind of unnecessary. I don't think it could be understated just kind of how much of a mess this Patriots team really felt. And even if they were kind of in games or games were kind of close, like everything just felt so disconnected and disjointed. And that's why I think it was very smart that Kraft was like, we're not messing around. We're not going to try to like, oh, we'll give, we'll give this coaching staff, this whole group another year. We'll give them another year with Drake Maye. I was like, no, Vrabel's around. Let's get him. He's going to come in. He's going to have his vision. What does he need? He needs defensive players right now. Boom, let's get it. What are the type of offensive players that we think are worthwhile? Someone like a Diggs, bring him in. Draft, new offensive coach. New. Obviously, you have plenty of experience with the Patriots. And let's go. Right? I think it's smart. I think it's a very smart, balanced approach. I think, quite frankly, a lot of teams in free agency did a pretty decent job of being pretty balanced. They didn't back themselves in any corners here. Nothing was really out of desperation. And and that's also the big benefit when you have a coach like Mike Vrabel, who's like, this is what I want defensively. These are the guys I've actually seen them play in the NFL. I don't have to kind of take any scouts words for it or anything like that. You can have a lot of trust and a lot of confidence that this defense is going to be, pretty legit, pretty grounded, pretty high level. Again, is he going to be able to turn it into like a top 5 defense overnight? Probably not. But will it be, legitimately more consistent and more potent? Absolutely. And then the rest is in the draft and Drake Maye's development. So it's also kind of a wait and see. You have a handful of teams that are really just like the definition of a wait and see team, right? The Patriots, wait and see. The Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, wait and see. The Raiders and Geno Smith, wait and see. And so the Patriots are wait and see. And I'm excited to see post-draft what they come away with. I'm excited to see what are the expectations and what are the predictions for a team like the New England Patriots, because I'm predicting for myself that I'm going to have high expectations for them, but I'll really reserve those conclusions until after the draft more than anything. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the New England Patriots and Drake Maye and Vrabel's decision so far this offseason, and what they kind of need to do moving forward to kind of really round out this team? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.